Bob Sexton. I'm a candidate for Elbert County Sheriff. First and foremost, election, my feeling is party unity. That we work together as a party. We work together as a party, and party unity starts on this level. And that we all have the same goals and objectives. And from this level all the way up to the state, the federal government, we need to make some changes. But I really feel that when this is all over, we all pull together, work together as one. I've been a Republican all my life. I'm 18 years old. I've worked on Republican campaigns, committees, Central Committee. I've been precinct leader, and I've worked very hard to support this party. I've never changed parties. I've always been here. I'm married. My wife Teresa's here. I have children, 9 grandchildren. I'd love to tell you about all of them, but we'd be here all day. I have 35 years in law enforcement. I have 3 employers. Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. I worked for the VA, the 18th Judicial District, which serves this county for 9 years. So I'm very familiar with Elbert County. I worked with Sheriff Yarnell when he was sheriff here. I left the DA's office and went to the state. I worked in the state of Colorado for 26 years. I went to the state, I worked as a state trooper. I worked in the Attorney General's office as the chief investigator. And I went to CBI and I worked with the Colorado Bureau of Investigation for 14 years. And I served about every division and managed about every division within the Bureau. I took a promotion from CBI and went to the Department of Revenue, where I was the Director of Security and Investigation for the state lottery. I oversaw the computer transition from scientific games, I started for GTech, to scientific games, and promoted after that to the division director for the auto industry division in the state. I left the state, and I retired from the state, went to Afghanistan, and served training in police for a short period of time. I've been to college. I've got a degree in criminal justice, political science, and I've gone to graduate school for public administration. I served my country in Vietnam. I've also served my country in Afghanistan. I also attended the FBI National Academy, which is a premier management school for law enforcement.
Ready?
Ready.
Why do you want to be sheriff?
I think I've got a lot to offer. I'm a professional law enforcement officer. I spent my entire career learning about this job, going to school, doing the best job I could possibly do to be in law enforcement. My wife's parents have lived here for 25 years. We spent a lot of time in this county. I've learned to love this county. This is where I want to stay, and for my family, this is where I want to be. And I hope I never have to move again for my job or for any other reason. And I think that I have a lot of ideas and a vision for the department to incorporate communities within the department and working with the department in different programs which would benefit all of us.
Tell us about your 2 previous jobs and why did you leave them?
Well, the last job was Afghanistan. It was time to leave. I retired from the state of Colorado, and part of that I was with the district attorney's office in the 8th year, and I left there to take a job working for organized crime for the attorney general, which was a real challenge at the time I wanted to do.
I understand you're in favor of the Second Amendment. How will you work to reinstill the confidence of the Peaceful Valley Boy Scout Ranch in the Sheriff's Office after what's happened in 2008?
I would work very closely with the Boy Scout Ranch. I think the kids are our future. That's extremely important. And I think that we could mend those fences and work very diligently to interact with the Boy Scout Ranch and also involve them in what's going on with the department.
What, in your law enforcement background, would make you a better sheriff than the other candidates?
Well, I have, obviously, if you look at me, I've had a lot of years in law enforcement. I'm a professional law enforcement officer. That's what I've done my entire adult life other than being in the military. dedicated and pointed to learn everything I can learn and go to schools and to, at the risk of the cliche, be all that I can be in this field. I would love to bring that to this department or to the sheriff's office and to be able to share that with this community.
Why do you feel that you understand the culture and can address the community's concerns more effectively than the other candidates?
I have worked for years with the DA, the Attorney General, CBI, and you're always in somebody else's jurisdiction. And your requests are always from smaller jurisdictions. I've worked cases out here. I've worked with small jurisdictions all over the state. I understand the needs, the concerns, the problems, and sometimes, unfortunately, the politics. So I'm very, very familiar with this type of law enforcement and in the small community, even though I've worked a lot with the state, that I can be very effective in providing service for this community.
Who is your planned undersheriff, and what is the experience level of your proposed command staff?
My undersheriff would be Eric Hartzell, and he's got extensive experience in law enforcement, or in law enforcement, and he's served with the police department. One member of my command staff would be a person I met in Afghanistan who is a PhD in human resources. He's a former city manager, chief of police, and he's an expert in writing grants and policies. I think policy is the backbone of the department, and he would be willing to come out here and help us.
What do you envision your first 100 days in office, and how will that go?
I think the first priority in office would be to put together a program. Well, first of all, looking at the budget, auditing evidence, and then putting together a program to involve the citizens of the department, and a reserve for cost type program which would augment all the services of the department, whether it's patrol, issue permits, but start bringing the citizens and the residents in this county into the department of what's going on in the department.
Last question. What needs to change to make the office better?
Well, I think that the sheriff's department, I think the current sheriff has brought the sheriff's department a long way, and I'd like to take it to the next level. One thing that I don't support is tickets for revenue. I think that has caused a problem. I think that the focus, my focus would be public safety, and our community and our children, and tickets for revenue is an unfair tax. I would stop that and really focus on public safety and what I can do for the community, and also be open, the doors open for my staff and for the citizens.
Thank you, Bob.